Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday to everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's doing well on this Monday. The Monday after Sunday, football Sunday. Football is, for all intents and purposes, the regular season is over. It's now to the tournament. The tournament, as Bill Parcells used to say. DA, what's up, brother? How are you today?
Hey, man, everybody, what's up? The G here, I told you I don't really do with sunlight, so you see how dark I am, but I got my blade shit on today, so I can do the sun a little bit for you, but just this much. It is what it is, man. I try to block out the sunlight, man, but we here on my vampire shit, so what's good? What's good, man? Hey, let's jump right into it, man. It's fourth and short, man. Like we said, week 18, and we had a couple over the weekend. We had some good games and we had some duds, pretty much. A lot of games. South Dakota. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that would be college, sir. And the college football championship is tonight, so y'all make sure y'all tune into that. We will be talking about that on Thursday. But it's the NFL weekend here, and it's fourth and short. Hey, let's get back to it. Let's get into it. Hey, Tennessee versus Jacksonville. The Tennessee Titans, man, they took a huge fall. I believe they lost 5 in a row.
6, I think.
6 in a row. Tennessee was 7-4, and they lost on Saturday night to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were 9-8. Jacksonville wins the AFC South. They go to the playoffs to face the San Diego Chargers. DA, what's your thoughts on the Jaguars?
I had that game wrong, but in my head, I thought they could overcome some things. Listen, man, first of all, big props to Jacksonville. They have a fast team.
Yes.
They will be good for the next 5-10 years, for real. If nothing goes wrong, coaching, players, in a big way, I think they'll be fine. And I think they're still high enough with trades and whatnot to where they still have a top 20 guy this year. And they've drafted well. They didn't lose any of their trade capital. So I think Jacksonville's on their way. Always knew Trevor Lawrence can play. You still make some, not rookie, but second-year mistakes.
Right.
Good running game. Offensive line is good. D-line is, that defense is fast. They're playing. They keep them together. They're right. That's like the building blocks. But we'll get into that on one day when we have a show about football, and we can really talk about it, of how you build a pro team, college team, so forth and so on, based upon, offense, defense, special teams. You need all three, but it's a combination to really be a Super Bowl team. So I give Jacksonville props for winning. I give the Titans props for losing, man, because I like Dobbs. And, to think a dude that's only been there 17 days was playing in a near playoff game. And he played. He had a good game. They had a chance to win that game. I think he had strip stat. And I don't know if he threw an INT, but they were, I think they'll be back. I just think they got to figure out that quarterback thing, and if they can move past that successfully, smoothly, the Titans will be back to being a good team.
So with that said, and we'll talk about the Jaguars here in a second. So they're moving on from Tannehill. That's it.
I believe they should.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Jaguars stats. Trevor Lawrence was 20 of 32, 212 yards, 1 TD. As DA alluded to, the defense was fast. That touchdown, the scoop and score with the touchdown at the end that propelled the Jacksonville Jaguars to lead in the game 20-16. That pretty much was all she wrote.
And a kick return, right?
Yeah, and the kick return, yes.
So the offense, and Trevor Lawrence, to his credit, said, "Hey, we didn't win the game. Won the game was the damn, the defense and special teams." So I like that, and I like the kid. He can play, man. He's good.
He's definitely a gamer. He definitely can get it in. let's talk about the Titans. Joshua Dobbs was 20-29, 179 yards, one TD, one interception. Derrick Henry was 30 carries for 109 yards, 3.6 average. Like DA alluded to, man, the quarterback play this year pretty much was the demise of the Titans.
Yeah, they were hurt. They had backups. It was just
Um,
horrible.
I know D Dub's not on this morning, but I know you gave D Dub some pushback on Dobbins starting, and excuse me, Dobbs starting, and where D Dub alluded to and said that hey man, whether it be 20 days or 20 years, man, he's here.
That's crazy. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Look, D, you my dude. I love you to death. Like, I'll go straight to war for you, dog. But with that one, you got to leave that one where that's at, man. You ask anybody that's played football at any level past Pee Wee, you can't play quarterback in that game after 17 days and expect to be even half
Right.
of what So this guy put in a Herculean effort in my eyes.
I believe so. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's just, I understand he made a mistake, man, but that dude is a good player. And like E is saying, yeah, man, regular game is different from one with playoff implications. So everybody's turned up another notch. And 3 weeks ago, you was on your couch playing Madden. So, that's it. No more, no less. I'm not going to down the kid for it, man. So, I watched him at Tennessee, and he's a good player.
Right. So, hey, like we said, and we'll get to this on Thursday when we talk about our predictions. The Jaguars, they win the AFC South. They will face the I want to kill them, San Diego. That means they need to move back to San Diego. The LA Chargers, on Saturday night. I think that's going to be a good game. I think this will absolutely be a good one, man. So, hey, let's go to the next game. It had some kind of implications, but it cleared some things up. The Patriots visited Orchard Park, and the Bills beat down the Patriots 35-23. I thought what was pretty amazing with this game was the kickoff in the beginning of the game. That was insane. That was crazy. How it almost reminded me when the whole New Orleans, when the Saints with the whole Katrina thing.
Yeah.
And they had the block kick, and it was their first game in the building after the whole Hurricane Katrina and all that, and it was just crazy how the atmosphere was there. And pretty much was the same thing with the kick return yesterday against the Pats, and they allowed actually two. And me and D-Dub was just talking about how kickoffs are very rare, and we saw two yesterday. Your thoughts on the Bills and the Pats?
I wouldn't say it was a great game, right? But I would say this, right? Big props to Naheem Hines, right? He went out. He did what he did. 14 points on him. Good. Defense played well, right?
Yes.
But without two or three spectacular plays, the Patriots beat the Bills yesterday. So just know that the Bills are a floor team, right? I like Josh Allen. It's a great story per se.
Yes.
But let's talk about just football because that's what we do here. It showed a lot of flaws in the Buffalo Bills team. Doing a lot of things that, getting extra things to win games. Not saying they get it like, somebody gave them a gift, but things that do not usually happen. And I don't know if the Bills can continue that or will continue that going forward. That's a lot to ask from a team. Up and down the emotional roller coaster, really dope. No issue with it. But they actually should have lost that game without those, again, Herculean plays, right? So you got one dude doing some extra-ish. And, so that's 14, man. So we take 14 off the scoreboard. What's the score?
22-1 Pats.
Yeah, okay. So that's kind of what I'm saying, everyone. So it's a great thing. I'm glad they're there. And I know they'll work hard, and they play Miami. that probably won't be too hard. But we'll see what happens because I just saw something saying Miami said, "Damn that! If dude can drive, he can play." So it's like one of my favorite movies is the what's that, dodgeball, and dude say, "Yo man, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball." So there we go. So we may see Tua come this weekend.
And we'll get into that on Thursday. Like Da said, the Bills win and with the Dolphins beating the Jets yesterday, the Dolphins get into the playoffs, and so this will be a game that was played early. Like you said, these teams played twice already, and I believe they split. Yes, they split.
Yes.
They did split. They won in Miami, and the Bills won in Buffalo. So they split, and so this will be good. Let me give you some of the stats here. Mac Jones was 26 of 40, 243 yards, 3 TDs, and DA, as often as you alluded to, cannot throw the ball to the other team. He did it 3 times, and it was costly.
Can't do it and win.
No, can't do it and expect to win. Josh Allen was 19 of 31, 254 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. And on this show, on this podcast, we talk about how last year, I think DA was talking about how the Bills, though a great team, your defense is kind of suspect and it's going to catch up with you. And this is, like you said, a couple of Herculean plays. Who knows what happens?
And 3 gifts from New England, right? Three turnovers, and that's going to help you, man. You get those are possessions, dog. Those are possessions, and that's kind of what went down. I do hope that they can get some of these things turned around. But like I said, we'll see. Tyreek has a bad ankle, so they may be able to do some things against them. But we could get 2 sessions out the way. When the Dolphins were right beginning of this year, like they were clicking on a lot of cylinders. So if they get any piece of that back, it's going to be a track meet up there unless it's snow all over the ground and rain and whatnot.
Well, I mean, it was bad weather last time, and it was pretty much a high scoring game. Yeah. With DA, we'll go to our next game. The Dolphins defeated the Jets in Miami Gardens, Florida, 11-6. Sound like a baseball score. The Marlins defeated the Mets 11-6. Totally no touchdowns during this game. We have field goals and a safety, and quarterback play is important. And as you can see, it both with the Jets and the Dolphins, the Dolphins was able to overcome that yesterday and win the game. And like DA said, early in the season when they was clicking, when Tua was healthy and he was throwing the ball, and Tyreek and the whole clan with the Dolphins, hey, they went. I think they went to an 8-3 record.
Yeah,
and they lost 5 in a row, and they was able to squeak out a win yesterday and make it to the playoffs. So, let's talk about the Jets real quick. Your thoughts on the Jets, and I'll give my thoughts on the Jets.
Man, it's hard, right? So, your brother has a 10-year thing that he says. If you get a bad quarterback, you in purgatory for like 10.
Yes.
Jets have a hell of a team, man.
The defense again.
Yeah. And the offensive line's pretty good. The running back's pretty good. They got some receivers, they're not. They actually remind me of the Giants 1 or 2 years when they won the Super Bowl, right? They got good offensive line, serviceable running backs,
Right.
They got their Manninghams, not super wide receivers, but good wide receivers, like for real. They just need a point guard, to get dudes the ball.
Yes.
I think they might have made a bad decision with the kid from BYU, but that wasn't on this staff, but he is still there, right? So we can't. Sorry. Right. Flacco is going to go. Mike White's probably going to get picked up by somebody else because he can play. And then they got to figure out what they're going to do with starters. But there are starters out there, but I don't know if there are starters out there that are worth the money. So you got your Derek Carrs and so forth and so on. They'll be out there for them if they want them. But if you're going to do that, you're going to do that early and, make a move.
Do the Jets do like how they did with Brett Favre and go after another Green Bay star?
Nope. No need. Team's too young. Like he won't connect with them, right? So
Oh yeah, like how he did earlier, right? We were talking about
yeah,
Aaron. Just those that
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
Aaron won't connect with him because he says too much, and he would love the New York camera, I guess. I don't know. I still think he's a great quarterback, but I don't think he'll connect the way he's supposed to with these young guys with the Jets, because they are young guys with the Jets. So Tom Brady, possible. He has a son in New York.
Right.
All possible. That's an expensive holdover for a year, though.
Mm.
Expensive move for 1 year. So they're gonna be quarterbacks though. Like I said, there will be. Tannehill will be out there, and he's better than everything you got. Like there's gonna be dudes out there for them if they want them. So that's the way I kind of say it.
Gotcha. We'll move on to the next game. The Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Baltimore Ravens 27-16. Hey, they're gonna face each other next week. This game right here, the Bengals wound up finishing 12-4. The Ravens 10-7. Lamar Jackson did not play again. Looks like Lamar will be ready for next week. That's what they're saying, according to.
As they hope.
Well, yeah, hope, pray, whatever one it is. The Bengals, with a crazy week that they had, emotional roller coaster. Joe Burrow was 25 of 42, 215 yards, 1 TD.
Lots of attempts, man.
Yeah, throwing the ball a lot. Again, they carried the ball. They ran the ball 11, 16, 17, 20 times yesterday between Mixon,
That makes no sense.
Perrine, and Burrow.
That makes no sense to me, but we'll talk about on another football episode that we have, again, about football and things we see, the state of football and the coaching and so forth and so on. But, yeah, Joe Burrow is great. You don't need to throw the ball 42 times.
Run the ball.
Got two good running backs. And I know that the Ravens have a great defense. That their defense is rounding into shape, but makes no sense.
Right. Gotcha. So, like I stated earlier, the Ravens and Bengals, they will hook up this week again, and that should be very interesting. With all that's went on in the last week with the Bengals and what's going on with the Ravens as far as Lamar Jackson, playing there. I believe the Ravens started their third string quarterback last night, yesterday, and didn't do too bad, but maybe with the Darryl Warren scenario, Anthony Brown was 19 of 44, throwing the ball way too much. He had 2 interceptions, and Kenyon Drake, he ran the ball for 16 out of 60 yards on yesterday. So the Bengals and Ravens will dance again.
Yes,
same time.
Same bad channel. Hey, I want to say one thing for people.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I know people ain't going to notice it, but I'm going to hit you in the head with it for real. One thing that the Ravens have done that's really smart, man, they got 3 quarterbacks that are essentially identical twins. They're just not the same skill level, but they never have to change their system because they change the quarterback.
That's a good point. They all have the similar skill set, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
And so it's just pretty much plug and play.
Yeah.
But the track to say that, that person's a system quarterback and
don't matter. Just win. They're all in the system, homie. They're all in the system.
They're all in the system.
Everybody's in the system. So.
Our last game we'll get to. We'll talk about, and then we'll talk about some other things before we get on out of here. The Detroit Lions, man. Yo, shout out to the Lions, man. The Lions played hard, man. They played hard. They won the game last night, 20-16. Even with them knowing that, with Seattle beating the Rams, they're in the playoffs. The Rams are Seattle's in the playoffs, and Detroit knew they had no chance, but Detroit went out there and played their butts off. They defeated Aaron Rodgers and the Packers 20-16. And I like this Detroit team. Like I said, it's kind of like my adopted team on the side. They took chances last night. They just went all at it, man. And hey, shout out! I mean that trade with Jaguars Jared Goff and the Rams. Hey, Jared Goff was 23 to 34. He didn't have no TDs. He threw for 20 to 24 yards, but no interceptions either. Jamal Williams, a beast. Him and DeAndre Swift, they gained 100 yards between them. Jamal Williams had 72. Swift had 25. And the the Lions defense is really serious. DA, I'll let you jump in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The Lions had a much maligned season on D, last and this, but they got dudes, as my man Pollock says, they got dudes, right? So, and I said this, that's why I picked him up. At least I was right on this one. My man Dan Campbell said at the half, yo, listen, man, we don't get in, they don't get in. You heard what I'm saying? He said, we don't get in, they don't get in. That's that. So we threw down the gauntlet, Green Bay in Green Bay.
That's right.
We win the game. Yeah, we don't get in, but they don't get in either.
Yep.
And I'm like, dang, man, I like that. And like I said, They went hard. They played hard. Dude had a toss play at the end of the game.
Yes.
Damn near won the game. And then the pass, which was the next down that Goff threw it to St. Brown, and the game was over. They actually could have scored another touchdown if they wanted to. They could have ran it in if they wanted to.
They could have ran it, but the fact that they dialed it up and said, "Hey, let's throw on this. Hey, let's get rid of the Packers right now. Let's get rid of
that first down was it. It was a wrap at that point. And Packers got some stuff to do. They got some stuff to think about and what they want to do. I don't know if I don't know what will happen next year. Like the Packers got some stuff to do. So I got on the green and yellow, but that's for all Britain, not for the A's. So with that said, I'm like, yo, listen, man, I'm not really sure what Green Bay is going to do, but I can see that division running through Detroit for the next 4 or 5 years. Period. Now I don't know what that means, but next 4 or 5 years. And just a side note to that, the wildest thing is, I think Kev alluded to it with another team in a trade, is that Seattle's going to be in the playoffs, and they get 2 first-round picks next year.
Yes.
And they're in my division, and that's fucked up. Like, they're going to be good because they get 2 first-rounders next year.
He's a Niners fan. If you guys that just following today, he's a Niners fan. Shout out to him.
Sorry. Yeah, to my bones. So they're going to be in the playoffs. They solved their quarterback problem, and they get 2 first-rounders next year. So we're going to get them the hell up out of here quick next week, but I don't know how quick it's going to be after that. We'll see how good Trey is. But the reality is, hey, man, let the tournament begin. So I'm with it all.
Let the tournament begin, man. So let's talk about a couple other news items. Lovie Smith was relieved of duties last night after 1 year with the Texans. Your thoughts, DA?
He knew that. I think that was what was supposed to be. I think that was supposed to happen. I don't think it's a surprise. I think when he came in, they said, yo, we want to hold you for a year. We need someone to take care of this as we look for a younger...
Kind of a stopgap. Yeah, I thought so too. Kind of a stopgap.
Now, I'm just not, like I said, I don't think NFL pro coaches grow on trees. But we'll see. We'll see.
The Browns relieved defensive coordinator Joe Woods.
He should have been relieved
yesterday after 3 years in Cleveland. Your thoughts on that, and I'll give you mine.
He should have been relieved. They had a defense that should have been top 5 to 10 in the league, and they didn't. So either your scheme didn't work, or they wasn't listening to your ass. Both are bad. So in both cases, that's a bad look. But you've got to you got to figure that out on me.
I'm laughing at the angry one. The angry one's not with us, but he's in the comments, man, and he said Lovie should have been the first coach been fired. Looking at Kingsbury with the eyes.
Oh yeah, he should have been going a year ago though. But that's a different situation, man. I don't know if it's the old boys club or whatever it is, but the reality is that your team fizzles. They come out hot every year and then they fizzle. This year you just fizzled because you didn't have D-Hop. Nuke wasn't out there. Your quarterback was doing this. He wasn't doing that. Dude, listen, man. This ain't a college team. You got to do shit a little different.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, I know it wasn't a game of magnitude. Hey, all you Cowboy fans, I'm about to give y'all a plus real quick. Hey, I'm turning on the radio this morning, and there's a lot of talk about Dak Prescott and all this stuff. And me and DA, before we came on, we talked about how the Cowboys, they could have changed position, but it really didn't mean nothing. And they're really talking about how worse Dak Prescott played. I don't know, man. I don't think it didn't mean anything, man. And he even said at the end of the game, he didn't play well, but didn't cost him nothing, didn't mean anything. Yeah, he threw a pick six again. Yeah, but I think they're making a whole lot of nothing out of nothing. And we'll talk about the schedule and stuff on Thursday. I don't see the Cowboys beating Tampa Bay though.
Yeah, me either, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
man. They're gonna get beat by some old fogies next week, boy.
Yeah,
they're gonna get beat by old men out there in Florida next week in the retirement land. They just sit out there, stay there and retire. So they just stay out there and retire. But listen, reality is this, folks. You can't throw the ball to the other team. Like there's no other football mantra that we have here. Is you can't throw the ball to the other team and win. So with that being said, Dak, you gotta clean that up.
Yes.
Michael on Mike Millie's always says that McCarthy is the running back killer. And though he may have 1,000-yard rushers, there's really no commitment to running the ball. So with that being said, in the playoffs that hurts. Their defense is not one player as a defense. That's one.
Right.
And two, they're not great, but they're good. So they just have to continue on doing what, getting better. They got to, rushing the passer is not where it's a great thing to have if you can. But, as Warren Sapp says, you trample the run on the way to the quarterback. And the Dallas Cowboys don't do that because they don't primarily rush up the middle. They rush, on the edges. So you can still run up the middle on them. So, and then there are a lot of guys on their back end make business decisions. That's just the truth. You guys are not, it seems like some guys on that team are not down with the click-clack, as we call it, the ex-players. And that's when pads hit pads. And you got to be with the click-clack, man, in the playoffs.
Got to do it. Before we get out of here, let me show you the schedule here. Or not show it to you. Well, I could show it to you. But on Saturday, the Seahawks, this is the first game. On Saturday, January 14th, the Seahawks visit Santa Clara and the San Francisco 49ers. That game is at 4:30 on Fox. The Saturday night game, the Chargers, I keep calling them San Diego. The LA Chargers visit the Jacksonville Jaguars in Duval County. That game is at 8:15 on NBC. Then
That's
Sunday,
gonna be crazy out there.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be crazy. Hey, make sure you leave early. Go to the game out there though. Just go.
Leave Friday.
Sunday's game, the Dolphins and the Bills hook up in Orchard Park, New York, Western New York at 1 p.m. That game is on CBS. The Giants, my Giants, will visit the Vikings next Sunday at 4:30 p.m. That game is on Fox. And then the 8:15 game, the Ravens and the Bengals dance again for the third time this season. That game is on NBC. And then on Monday night, Cowboys Nation, I'll go down to Hillsborough County in Florida, Tampa, Florida, to visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. Should be a very good playoff season. The two teams that got byes are the Eagles and the
Kansas City Chiefs.
Real quick, and we're going to get out of here. Did you see the ring around the posy thing that they did against the Raiders?
Oh, yeah. Hey.
It just looks like Kansas City was bored, and it almost worked. I think there was a penalty in the play, and pretty much they ran the same play the very next time.
Well, you know what? Hey, Raider fans, Raider Nation, get mad. Get mad. Be mad. Play mad. You got a pretty good defense. You got to short up the D line. You got players on offense for real. You got Waller,
Adams.
You got Jacobs. I mean, you got. Y'all got players, man. So again, you guys need a point guard too. And again, like I said, man, I've seen teams win Super Bowls without great quarterbacks. That's why Jimmy G is going to get paid this year. Ain't got to be great. It's got to be good enough and not throw the ball to the other team. And if Jimmy played like he played with us this year, he's going to be a hell of a pickup.
Yeah.
I just don't think for $30 million.
Right.
You got to prove something to me before I give you 30. And he's going to have the benefit of only having the games he played this year to be his proof. Like, look, I'm not the dude I used to be. Look at this year. And he's going to get paid for that and that, period. Like the rest of his history, Kev, they're going to forget it ever happened.
True that.
And he could go back to throwing the ball to the other team, and this is why I wouldn't give him 30, because he's a $30 million quarterback. In the system that we have now, he's a $30 million dude.
Well,
so it's going to be up to you to say whether you want to do that or not, Kevin.
I mean, well, we can say that, and Cowboy fans might get mad at me. They did the same thing for Dak. You know, they gave him $40 million.
Yeah.
Listen, we can have a whole show on how to build a team, and we will.
Yeah,
but for now, it's fourth and short. Hey, happy Monday to you. Hey, we'll get back to you on Thursday. Our 90-minute show. Hey, you give us 90 minutes, we'll give you the sports world. Please remember to also like, click, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And also, we're on all major podcast platforms. Everywhere. Just search Sports Chasers Podcast. Hey, once again, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, Dorian D.A. Albritton, Mills, Daryl D. Del Warren, the angry one, Steve Warren, man.
Dan, man.
And then the hockey dude. Yo, this is a Sports Chasers Podcast, man. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Have a great Monday. Peace.